Hi everybody, I am Megan Dusky and this is my AEP 803 Me in Action Research. A little bit about me is I am 27 years old. My husband and I live in north central Kansas where we farm and ranch. We raise cattle and pigs. I teach second grade at Rock Hills Elementary. I graduated from K-State in 2016 with my bachelor's degree in elementary education. My hobbies, I love to be outside on the farm with my husband, and I enjoy reading, baking, and taking our dog Dixie for a walk. I love to listen to true crime podcasts and audiobooks, and that's Dixie. My work, so this is my 6th year of teaching. My first year, I was the Reading and Math MTSS coordinator for pre-K through 4th grade at Northern Valley Elementary School. For the last 5 years, I've been teaching 2nd grade. 2 of those years were at Northern Valley, and then the last 3 here at Rock Hills. I also coach high school volleyball, and this is my 6th year of doing that. Our school is currently adjusting to a full-time principal at the elementary school, and I get into that a little bit later in this presentation. I just thought it was an interesting thing to note. What is action research? Action research is both practical and theoretical. It is practical because it involves making a change to a practice. It is theoretical because it is informed by theory and it can generate new insights. It is created with a concern for change and improvement. Because action research is through your own practice and it should benefit you and your academic community, it is often viewed as small scale because the effects are within your own group. What is the purpose of action research? Teachers are to design, implement, and analyze the project to determine the impact among learners. It lets us put our focus on growth and positivity, not focus on what is lacking inside of our classroom. Action research encourages teachers to ask questions, inquire about individual research, and discuss their research and findings with other teachers. A collaborative culture is important. It can be used for problem solving and brainstorming ideas to help support students. What are the 4 types of action research? The first one is individual teacher. Individual teacher research is done for a purpose and with a process. The teacher poses a question focused on change within their classroom. And it can be anything from classroom management to teaching what we refer to as soft skills. Collaborative action research is done with a team of teachers. However, it could focus on a single classroom or a common problem that is happening in several classrooms. Your third type is school-wide. School-wide action research is when the school faculty decides on a problem of interest. They gather their data and then they use that data from other outside sources like schools, districts, professional literature, and it's all provided to the faculty. And as a staff, they decide on their action steps. The last type of action research is district-wide. District-wide action research involves the entire school district. It also involves Board of Education members and the communities that are a part of the district. What is the goal of action research? Action research provides the opportunity to have teachers ask themselves questions about their classroom and student learning. Action research can help teachers become more effective in their teaching methods, and it can increase their understanding of their own classroom. It holds the teacher accountable and it offers continued professional development. When teachers research methods that work and are proven to increase student engagement, it will improve the student learning outcomes. What are the main steps of action research? The first step, identify and envision. Identify what your goal is and envision your success. Thinking that you will succeed is half the battle. Because action research focuses on growth and positivity, it is important that you are looking at it from a standpoint of growth and positivity. The second step is to develop your plan. How will you be successful and what do you need to have prepared? 3, collect your data. What methods are you going to use and who is going to help you? Step 4, analyze and form conclusions. Take a look at your data. What does it show? What is consistent and what is your data trying to tell you? Step 5, modify. Modify and make the changes your data supports. Did it change your outcome? Are you seeing growth? And then the 6th and final step is to report. You want to report your findings and share them with a colleague. Share them with your students if it's appropriate, your principal. Who knows, you could inspire the next educator to conduct action research and be successful in their classroom. What is the difference between action research and traditional research? Action research is specific research done by the teacher, for the students, with a direct impact on the teacher's classroom. It is modified and adapted several times before the outcome is revealed. Traditional research, on the other hand, is broad, and it is not from a specific teacher or classroom. It is not adapted and reformed. It is simply produced and recorded. What are the common problems associated with action research? The first one, teacher knowledge of incorporating action research. They find themselves thinking, when, how, where do I start? What if I go out of order of the steps? And do I have a mentor to help me conduct action research to the best of my ability? Time. As we all know, teachers are already stretched very thin trying to keep up with the daily demands of teaching, especially during a pandemic where several teachers are still teaching both students who are in person and students who are remote. Where do we find the time to develop a plan, collect the data, review, revise, and report? How can I differentiate my instruction every day for my kiddos and conduct an action research all in the same day? The third one being resources. Resources. How will my data be collected? Where will I find someone who can sit in and observe my class and collect the data that I need? What if the changes that I want to make have to deal with flexible seating? Where will I get the funds to make my action research plan a reality? Guidance. Teaching is one of the only professions where we will share with you exactly what we did to get success. We will give you the same tools, the same materials to have that awesome project or that killer lesson, because we want you to be successful and because what we did was that good. We are creatures of habit when it comes to wanting somebody who's done it and been there and will help guide us through the murky waters. Action research being that murky water. Conducting action research can come off a bit scary when you look at the project from a whole and not taking it step by step. Sometimes we just need somebody there to hold us accountable and make sure that we're going to see it through, even when we don't feel like there's a difference that can be made. My current teaching practice evaluation. So the picture that I selected here is a screenshot of what I put on my smartboard when we go into center rotations. My big question is, and would be for action research, is the effectiveness of reading centers. I have a 90-minute ELA block, and for 45 of those minutes, I am in small groups. I have learned that by posting this on the board, what students are where, what they're working on, and color coding them, it has helped kids visually see where they should be and what they should be doing. But my questions now are reading centers effective? What about them makes them so effective? And then what activities or projects are the best to keep students engaged during their center time and make sure they are able to do this skill appropriately and accurately? Why should I add action research to my professional development? Because it will improve my students' experiences. They will have increased engagement and they get to take ownership of their own learning by getting a chance to become part of my research. Action research improves teacher performance by increasing the knowledge of best practices, by increasing collaboration among colleagues, principals, and possibly students. Teachers get to be part of the research methods and they get a chance to assess their own values and beliefs about the classroom. So my critique personally, I don't remember talking about action research prior to this course. So this has definitely been an eye-opener to me about what I should be doing as an educator and how I can perform action research in my own class. I honestly think that I do this almost daily, but on a very small scale. Like, what's the best way to have students get ready for the end of the day? Or what's the best way to get our mornings taken care of? By checking agendas and getting milk count, lunch count, and any bus changes, and all posted by 8:30 in the morning. I've just never laid it out and collected data. I just say, okay, that plan didn't work, time to try a different one. My thoughts are that this could be very beneficial when it is done correctly, and some misgivings are I just might not like what I find out about my teaching practices or about how my students are receiving the information that I'm giving them. Rock Hills Elementary School and action research. So we kind of attempted this for math in 2019, 2020. So this would have been my first year at Rock Hills Elementary. And it was going to be a combined PLC/action research project over the best math instruction / curriculum / enrichment. It started with professional literature about what great math instruction looked like and why it was beneficial to students and how. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 shortening our year and our principal taking another job out of district, we never made it past the professional literature and on to the next steps. We are currently not engaged in action research. Course learning outcomes. When you read through the course learning outcomes, they say things like lead improvement processes, what we should be striving for in our classrooms, like high quality practices, technology-rich environments that use the technology appropriately, supports for all students, equitable academics, having a culturally responsive classroom, supportive data, and collaboratively evaluate the school's curriculum. What the course learning outcomes are like is pretty much like the trifecta. What every classroom, teacher, building, and district should strive for: to be highly effective in all areas, especially when it concerns student learning and the best practices. By completing this assignment, it has really opened my eyes to how much more there is to be done and how I can take research into my own hands and make our classroom a better place for all. But also how I can learn more about my practices, students, and classroom by conducting action research. Course learning outcome correlation. If you read through standard NS 1.1 and NS 4.1 through 4.4, these standards pertain directly to this course and project because as future leaders, we need to be able to collaboratively evaluate, develop, and communicate a school's mission. As teachers in the classroom, we need to be able to lead by example. It is imperative that we understand and can accurately demonstrate action research to improve teaching methods, student programs, data-informed instructional improvement, and assessment practices in a systematic manner. So this is relevant to me because continuously growing as an educator is my job. It is also our jobs as teachers to lead by example, but not just for the students, for new teachers and for the experienced ones. My reflection from this assignment is that I am aware of what action research is, and I am able to develop an action research project and work to complete it thoroughly and effectively. This last slide here is my resources. Thank you.